Investigates has exposed hundreds of local restaurants in our weekly Dirty Dining segment, and now we are hitting closer to home, your home.
Yeah, don't come in my home. Well, we enlisted the Southern Nevada Health District to warn you about dirty kitchens. Now, 13 Action News anchor Trisha Keene has the 5 things in your home that would fail a health inspection.
Sometimes we're on the go. We've got sports and all sorts of stuff.
Carly Ray is always on the go, but she's still making time for home-cooked meals. For breakfast,
Pancakes, waffles, eggs and bacon.
And for dinner.
Pasta is really popular. The kids like spaghetti. I make this really good pesto and gnocchi dish. The kids love chicken.
All that cooking means a lot of cleaning.
But, you know, there's days that dishes are in the sink for probably 24 hours and we just don't care.
We can all relate, right? But food safety is no joke. The CDC says about 1 in 6 Americans get sick from foodborne illnesses each year, and about 3,000 actually die. The health district says you can learn from the pros and from the mistakes we highlight on Dirty Dining.
There are 5 risk factors that we look for in professional kitchens, and you can translate that over to your home environment.
Number 1, Rogers says beware of cross-contamination.
Anytime that you use or you're handling any type of raw product and you're using equipment, before you move on to any other equipment, you should wash and rinse that equipment.
Rogers says one major piece of equipment most people forget to wash is their sink.
Most people's kitchen sinks have more germs than their toilets, which is quite remarkable.
Rogers suggests washing out your sink regularly and then wiping it down with a sanitizing wipe afterward. Risk factor number 2, personal hygiene. Rogers says washing your hands is just as important as washing kitchen equipment.
Because you are handling raw chicken, raw beef, things like that.
Then there's risk factor 3 and 4, which go hand in hand. Proper holding and cooking temperatures.
For chicken, we want to hit 165. A general rule is our steaks and pork cuts, we want to hit 155, and then fish 145 is safe.
Rogers says you should be using a probe thermometer to make sure you're reaching that proper temperature.
What people need to understand is that raw meat can harbor harmful bacteria, germs that can make people sick. And the way to kill these germs, you can't wash them off. The way to kill them is to heat them up to the proper temperatures.
Finally, risk factor number 5, food from a safe source. Make sure you're buying from a properly licensed business, inspected by the health district, and keep your perishable foods stored at the right temperature. Set your refrigerator at 41 degrees or lower, your freezer at 32 degrees or lower, and always thaw your meats in the refrigerator.
It's called slacking. It brings it up to that thawed temperature but doesn't allow it to go over. I never thaw on the counter. I never put something out and just let it sit.
And if you buy frozen vacuum sealed meat, Rogers says let it breathe.
You should poke a hole in the packaging to allow oxygen in. There's a certain bacteria that can grow in the lack of oxygen.
One interesting note, Rogers says not everything in your refrigerator needs to be there.
Mayonnaise is a non-potentially hazardous food, time controlled for, so you can keep mayonnaise on the counter if you wanted to.
Rogers says the same goes for ketchup and hot sauce. As for Carly, she's not too worried about the way she's doing things in the kitchen, but she's happy to be up on the latest healthy habits.
It's good things to know, to be preventative, and then obviously making sure that our kitchen sink is always sanitized. When he said that a kitchen sink can be dirtier than your toilet, gross.
13 consumer advocate Trisha Keene.
All right, so now we know, but sometimes people say, you know, I'm going to ask Sigs. We're having one of the health inspectors in the studio at midday, by the way.
Oh, we are?
Yes, to talk about it. But I'm interested to know, some people say if we keep our kitchen too clean, it doesn't build up our immune system.
I feel like a too clean kitchen is a rare problem.
But it also reminds me of that story, like not to wash your chicken.
Yeah.
Like that would be a too clean kitchen.
Right.
I don't know.
I guess we should probably wash our chicken.
I feel like I need to go home and just disinfect everything now
Everything.
after that story.
Exactly.